Did you know that one of the most chilling figures in horror was actually based on a real person? That's right. The Legend of Dracula, the immortal vampire, has a very human origin. But who was this person? Let's take a spine-tingling journey through history to uncover the real-life Dracula. Part 1. The Legend of Dracula. Dracula, a single word that conjures up images of a tall, eerie figure with a dark cape and piercing fangs. An immortal vampire feared for his thirst for human blood. This is the terrifying character that keeps us on the edge of our seats in movies, has us gripping our books a bit tighter, and even pops up in our nightmares sometimes. This mythical being first emerged from the shadows in Bram Stoker's classic 1897 novel, Dracula. Stoker painted a chilling portrait of an undying creature, slipping through the night, haunting the lands of Transylvania with his bloodlust. It was this portrayal that captured the world's imagination and set the standard for all vampires to come. Yet, Dracula was more than just a simple horror character. His complex nature, a blend of charm and terror, left readers both captivated and horrified. He was a monster, yes, but one with an air of nobility and an almost tragic past. And it is this complexity that has kept Dracula not just relevant, but a mainstay of popular culture for more than a century. This relentless figure has since appeared in countless movies, TV shows, comics, and even video games, continuously reinvented yet always recognizable, despite his fictional origins. It feels almost real to us now, doesn't he? But what if I told you that the inspiration for this immortal vampire was indeed very real? Part 2. Dracula's real-life inspiration. The blood-curdling vampire we know as Dracula was, in fact, inspired by a real-life person. His name was Vlad III, also known as Vlad the Impaler. Yes, you heard that right. The Impaler. He was the 15th century ruler of Wallachia, an area in what we now call Romania. During his reign in the 15th century, Wallachia was under constant threat from all sides. The expansive Ottoman Empire was a particularly big menace. Vlad III, despite his cruel methods, was a strong leader who stood up against these threats. So while we might look back at Vlad III with a shudder, his people saw him differently. To them, he was a defender, a protector, their ruler. Part 3. From Vlad to Dracula. So how did a 15th century ruler from Wallachia transform into Dracula, the vampire we all know and fear? The answer lies in the clever mind of Bram Stoker. It seems that Stoker didn't just stumble upon Vlad's story. He stitched it together with local Romanian folklore to create his legendary character. In Romanian folklore, there are tales of creatures called strigoi. These beings are said to rise from their graves and feed on the blood of the living. Sound familiar? They were undead, just like Dracula. They feasted on blood, just like Dracula. The parallels are impossible to ignore. Stoker took these elements, Vlad's real-life cruelty and the myths of the strigoi, and wove them into an unforgettable narrative. By merging history and folklore, he gave birth to a character that would become synonymous with terror. The character of Dracula is an ingenious blend of truth and imagination, reality and fantasy. So, there you have it, the man behind the legend. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, remember to hit like and subscribe for more fascinating dives into history.